Welcome back, everyone. As you see, I've moved to another new location. Hopefully the lighting's okay and I don't look too horrible for you. We're going to continue the AFC South previews with the worst team in the division. Not a video to skip, of course. That being the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last year, 2-14, finished up with the second overall pick. Drafted Luke Jokel out of Texas A&M. They fired Mike Mularkey after his one and only season as the head coach and replaced him with Seattle defensive coordinator Gus Bradley. The team is again turning it over to 10th overall pick Blaine Gabbert at quarterback. It'll be interesting to see if he finally improved and displays any presence in the pocket. If Gabbert is as horrible as he's been his first two seasons, you can expect the team to repeat its 2-14 record. At wide receiver, they at least have two promising players. One when he's on the field and not getting arrested for DUIs, being Justin Blackmon, the former Biletnikoff winner, is extremely talented and an excellent second half. But then he was a degenerate and got arrested in the offseason for DUI, now serving a 4-game suspension to start the season. But opposite him is a very interesting player, maybe a little undersized, but he makes up for it with an excellent heart and effort, and that would be Cecil Shorts III. He turned out to be Jacksonville's #1 receiver throughout the duration of the season. Yes, you could say that Blackmon is better, but right now Shorts is the player to watch on Jacksonville. We move now to tight end, where Mercedes Lewis has had one good season his entire career when he got 10 touchdown passes. He got paid for it, and he hasn't produced since. Well, he hadn't really produced before that either, the #1 overall pick. So it'll be interesting to see, will we get a repeat of that 10 touchdown season, or will that continue to be Mercedes Lewis's outlier? At running back, it's Maurice Jones-Drew's show. But the question is, how much does he have left? He missed most of the season after suffering a foot sprain in Oakland, and that killed a lot of teams' fantasy hopes. I'm looking at you, Kelly Rogers, and the Warriors come out and play. Now, the offensive line promises to be improved. They've drafted Luke Jokel. He'll man the right side. He was excellent at Texas A&M. A large reason why Johnny Manziel won the Heisman Trophy as a freshman. On the left side, they have former 8th overall pick Eugene Monroe. He's been very good. He'll continue to be very good. He's in a contract year. They will attempt to re-sign him at the end of the season. And interior, it's actually not the offensive line is the strength of this team. And, well, make that of what you think of it. Meester and Nwiri, yes, I am horrible at pronunciation, and names are not my strength. They are above average, and they provide a good middle and right guard, while left guard Will Rockley returns to the starting lineup after missing all of last season. And now we look at possibly the worst defense in the NFL, and they're really hoping head coach Gus Bradley can improve them like he improved the Seattle defense. Unfortunately, he does not have this talent that he did in Seattle. It could be the worst secondary in the NFL. They are going to be starting two rookies. First, it's going to be second rounder Jonathan Krypin at free safety, and then Dwayne Gratz at corner. Never a good combo when you're starting two rookies in the secondary. And especially not at corner, where that has become one of the hardest positions to pick up as a rookie in the NFL. Let's go now to their safeties, where Dwight Lowry is the other starter, and he's not a good option. He should be a backup special teams player. And you're going to have another camp battle to see who the other corner is. Not that Gratz has locked up that job. You could see the rotting corpse of Marcus Trufant, who probably should have retired, getting snaps at corner. It's really a bad situation there. If you got a player playing against Jacksonville that's either a receiver, tight end, quarterback, you may want to consider playing them, because they're going to rack up you the points, the yards, the touchdowns, everything you want. Let's move now to the pass rush, the defensive ends. They struggled to get to poison quarterbacks all year. You have Justin Babin, you have Mincy, you have Aluha. I'm sorry, there's a horrible pronunciation of the name. We're going to forget that I ever said that, because I was way wrong. we're going to move to the defensive tackles, where basically they signed 4 backups. And you know what I say about backups? They're backups for a reason. You want backups in the game if you're the other team. And that's exactly what you have. You have Roy Miller. He can start on a bad team, but he's a third tight end on a playoff team. Cedric Marks, another third tight end. Now here are some intriguing ones. Maybe Kyle Love and Brandon Diedrich could form a interesting duo as they come from the Patriots. Love had some starting experience, but was released after failing a physical. We move to linebacker, where their best player on the defense resides. That's Paul Posluszny, the former Penn State middle linebacker and team captain, is a tackling machine. And if you have him in your fantasy league like me, you're going to be very happy at the end of the day. Russell Allen made a lot of stops for them last year, but that was his first year starting and hadn't been a starter his first 4 years in the league, so you have to wonder if he is really that good a player or just a guy who makes tackles on a horrible team because they're on defense a whole ton of time. Now, then the other starter at linebacker, Geno Hayes, he shouldn't be starting. If you have him starting, you're in trouble as a defense. You do not want that. This is a team that basically is going to be tanking and hoping to get some talent in the draft because they don't have any on their roster right now. It's very dry. And then we look at their punter, where people like Bill Barnwell and Robert Mays have gone over it on Grantland. They drafted Brian Anger in the 3rd round over Russell Wilson and good players who can start. Not a guy who's going to make, well, in Jacksonville's case, he might see 10 snaps a game punting the ball away because you're going to see a lot of drives end in punts for a Blaine Gabbert offense. Blaine Gabbert's playing for his NFL life. If he doesn't succeed this year, he might never succeed. He might have to go to Canada or worse, the UFL, if that's even still a thing. That's how bad he has been. And then we look at their kicker, Josh Scobie, very consistent. Unfortunately, he's not going to get a lot of kicks. He's not going to be hitting many field goals. He's not going to be taking many field goals. We look now at, really, if you're the Jacksonville coach, you're a horrible team. Why even have a place kicker? Why not, if you just go for if you're on the other team's side of the field, why not just go for on a 4th down? Go for the end zone. It might work for you better. And then just have a punter when you're on your own side. Why not? Let's have some fun, Jacksonville. You're going to be horrible. You're going for the first overall pick again. Your punt returners are going to see very little action because your defense is not going to force many stops. You're not going to end drives early. They're going to be kicking field goals or finishing drives in the end zone with 7 points. So, kick returners, you're going to get a lot of chances. Ace Sanders, former South Carolina returner, you're going to get lots of chances. Jordan Shipley, former Longhorn, you're going to get some chances returning. Denard Robinson, former Michigan quarterback, and very intriguing player to watch on this Jacksonville roster. What he plays, position-wise, will get some returns. Let's go back more into some shoelaces talk. He could take some snaps at quarterback. You never know. Why not? He's athletic enough. He can throw the ball a bit. He can play running back, receiver. He could play on defense even if you wanted to. He's going to return kicks, punts if they ever force a punt. So, let's get to the projection. 2-14. They could potentially lose every game. They are that bad. Their roster is horrible. There is a reason why Jacksonville is always in the conversation of the team moving to Los Angeles, because no one wants to go see this team because they are god awful. And that's my preview of the Jacksonville Jaguars.